right? You guys are looking clear. Shee. One of those Thursdays. How's y'all's week going?
Pretty good.
Busy,
Solid.
busy
Yeah.
right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know,
Sure.
right? The major push end of the year. I'll message you guys. I'll message you, Will, Amon, and all the other guys about 2023 Wrapped. Like
Yeah,
FlutterFlow Wrapped. I built
excited for that.
everything. Kathy and I built everything ourselves last year with
Wow,
WinKai.
it looked great.
Um,
It looked great.
yeah, yeah, we need to do something, together this year as well. Shams, thanks for joining. Yeah, this is superb. So we're glad to have you on board and to go through BuildShip. John, the voice of FlutterFlow, just released a video on how to do OpenAI functions, and he used BuildShip and all the comments. Not all the comments. I saw a couple of comments of, please more BuildShip tutorials in FlutterFlow. So I think this will be great. Melvin, this will be recorded and sort of deployed on both of our channels, I'm sure. So yeah, we should be good. The way we want to go about this is I'm going to let Will sort of showcase an app he built in FlutterFlow, which is really sick. And then we're going to dive into some of the admin panel stuff that we built for this thing that we're building with Shams. And I'm going to showcase how we sort of did this in like 20 minutes because we utilized flows, our new feature, flows, which are superb. And then Shams is going to walk us through basically how to do a very common structure, a common workflow that happens at a lot of SaaS products, a lot of apps where you have teams and accounts. You have to invite people to your account. So we're going to essentially invite users, send them an email, allow them to, jump on, register, and then be a part of your team. So it's gonna be it's a very simple, I told Shams, I'm like, I know it's not like glorious and wonderful, of all the power that BuildShip and FlutterFlow has together, but it's a really simple use case that almost everybody needs for SaaS products and for any product that you actually want to ship. So, and people have asked for it before. So I think it's gonna be awesome. So Will, I'm gonna hand it off to you. Sorry, I'll let you showcase whatever you want with DreamBrush.
Yeah, we've been working on this really exciting app over the past week or so. Obviously, waiting for App Store approval and everything there. But definitely something we're going to be announcing soon, which is really exciting. We've kind of been teasing it on social media, and we finally got a good App Store push yesterday. So we can start announcing this stuff. But yeah, we've been working on since the DALL-E 3 release from OpenAI. We wanted to see basically how fast we could create a AI art application from start to finish and have that launched on the App Store. So really a testament to the power of what you can do in FlutterFlow, how fast you can build. Obviously, that will continue to be shown here with BuildShip today. I'm sure as we dive into things too, it would be cool to even point out areas of maybe the app that we touch on very briefly now that could have been built in BuildShip, because I'm sure the majority, if not all of the backend, right, functionality could have also been built in BuildShip too. So yeah, I'll quickly share my screen and jump into that. But
cool.
Let me do that.
Cool.
Don't mind sharing that screen, Andrew.
Yeah, good to go.
Yeah, so basically what we built here is what we see as the first DALL-E 3 AI art generator on the App Store. So we built this in around 2.5, 3 days. And you can see we have pages, components. We integrated Algolia for complex search. We integrated Revenue Cat for subscriptions. We have push notifications. We have the app in light and dark mode. We also have it in tons of languages. I think we have 56 different languages. We tried to basically allow users across every country that we have users in with FlutterFlow. We tried to find the language of that country and then allow this app to be translated into that language. So
that is wild and powerful. Holy cow.
For sure. And we'll be talking about this a little more, but Yeah, we basically, the translation of 56 languages of our entire app took around 45 seconds, right, with the translation tool in FlutterFlow, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, so here's a sneak peek. Basically, some basic like splash page, but when you jump on, the whole point is being able to see and explore AI generated images here. So you'd be able to select a art style, an image size, right? You can see we have call to actions to upgrade, utilizing revenue cap for subscriptions, all sorts of different things in here. Image details. So a really, really fun and exciting project. We'll be releasing more details on, potentially releasing this as a clonable project as well, which would be exciting. But yeah, right now it's only available on iOS. We're waiting for Google Play Store approval, so it should be there live soon.
Nice.
You can find more info at dreambrush.ai. Here's a sneak peek of the iOS app. So just search Dreambrush. Again, we built this start to finish in 3 days. We built the website with Framer in a few hours. We have the
And when he says we, he means him.
the the
Will did
Flutterflow
it.
team, the
Abel
Flutterflow
helped. Abel,
Abel, yeah, Abel's a huge
Abel
help.
and Will sort of built this. So it was a two-man team.
So
But
it's
I don't know if
pretty
anybody
crazy.
else.
And like even the App Store images here, although I added text on top of them, um, in Figma, all of these screenshots we're utilizing the FlutterFlow screenshot generator, right, with different sizes for the 5.5 versus I think 6.7 or 6.5 sizing. So again, like really a testament of how fast you can build with FlutterFlow,
Yep.
how beautiful the apps. I mean the type of apps you can create, how beautiful they look,
Totally.
and just a high quality application built in Flutter. So if anyone asks you, give me an example of a Flutter app, send them over to Dreambrush. It has push
Yep.
notifications, subscriptions, AI art generation with API calls, a multitude of features. So yeah, that's a brief overview. But again, it'll be fun to see, I'm sure, as we jump into today.
Oh
You
yeah.
point out some good use cases of like where BuildShip even could have been used for this, right? The image
Yep.
generation, a multitude of different things.
Yep. And that's the beauty of FlutterFlow, but also BuildShip, because they're building a visual backend. Kevin asked like, oh, when do I use Cloud Functions versus BuildShip? Like, you can, yes, you can deploy Cloud Functions from FlutterFlow now, but those are typically just very simple things or one-step processes, probably. I don't use Cloud Functions, so I'm not a developer, and I like the visual interface of BuildShip. But I'm also like building all the UI for everything. So I haven't had the time to dive in. So I wanted Shams to join because I want to know how to do this stuff as well. And I'm really excited to have him go through how to set up these, flows they're difficult. They're not, I mean, they are simple, but they're things that happen in every app or almost every application.
Nice.
So I'm really excited. And Kevin will try to touch on that. Shams can give us some insight into that. But Shams, why don't you just introduce yourself to the community?
Yeah.
Let us know what you do at BuildShip and what BuildShip is. Just a quick, I think almost all the users here know what BuildShip is, but just for people in the future.
All right, I'll try. So I can share my screen, right?
Yes, you can. I'll turn it on.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay, there it is. All right. Yeah. Hi. So I'm Shams, co-founder and CTO of BuildShip / Rowie. So Rowie is like the BuildShip's older brother. So we tried to so we started BuildShip as something that allows you to access your Firestore database easily. And Rowie, and then we realized there's a lot of potential for building backend functionality into the table. But then at one point we realized there's like a lot of limitations in that table view in terms of when things become more complicated. So we decided to move into BuildShip. So BuildShip helps you build backend tasks and then APIs, which could be APIs, could be scheduled events, and basically we try to simplify it with using AI and that visual element. So you don't lose out on the restrictions of no code tools, because you have that code accessible to you and you can modify it whenever you need. But most of the time we try to provide sensible nodes that you can basically select and choose and plug and play, also as well as templates. So something like we're going to shoot today, we can just provide it as a template, and then you just need to fill in some keys and like secrets, and you'll be good to go. And if it doesn't suit your need, you can just modify that one bit easily without having to do a lot of deployment or things like that.
Nice.
So,
I love that.
I think I need to share my full screen to make it easier.
Cool.
There we go. Oops.
I need to allow or show it. Cool.
I think it's, yeah. So that's Rowie. Helps you do your table stuff. But so initially we actually, fun story is that we were trying to put in BuildShip inside Rowie as like Rowie workflows, but then we realized, it got too complicated, but also like the Rowie workflows were too powerful and they have way more use cases than things that can happen to your data. So we started to we made a separate product.
I love it. I think that's great. I think the way you guys pivot and move and adjust and adapt is amazing. I mean, it really is. And when you guys launched BuildShip, I was like, this is great. There's other backend tools out there that are great, no code backend tools, but this one was definitely really impressive. And I'm just excited to know more about it. So this is gonna be fun. So I'll give a short overview. Sorry, I think I did at the beginning, but we've had a bunch of people join. So we are going to try to I built out an admin panel essentially in FlutterFlow. And I asked Shams hey, I have this admin panel. Essentially, I just want to create users, send an email, and then allow them to click a link in the email to create an account in Firebase and then log into, the application. So very common workflow. It could be from an admin panel. It could be from I have a AI proposal documentation app where I have teams, right? Just it's a very simple workflow. Every SaaS product has it. It's hey, I want to invite people to my team. Oh, okay. I'll just send them an email and then they sign up and then they don't, you have to go through a lot of stuff and actually for them to be associated with your company and with your team and not just create an account. So this process is hopefully going to explain how to do that. And then we'll try to hook it up to FlutterFlow. We'll try to do this all within an hour or so. We're going to go a little over probably, but we'll see how far we can get. So Sham, sorry, I just wanted to give a small overview.
All right. So basically, I think I'll start from scratch. I think we can do it. It won't take too much time. So I think I did the email confirmation workflow, but if we're doing a member invite, we can also do that. Do you wanna do this one first?
Yeah, let's do that.
Email. It's already built, and then we can build the inviting member workflow on the go.
Yep.
So I already sent you the spec. I can do a quick recap on this one, and then we'll go through building the member invite.
Okay, that works.
So for this one, basically, it's an API endpoint that allows, so you have, whenever you're building an app and you have email password verification, you might have fake users trying to do something that you don't want. So you want to verify that they're using an actual email, right? So with this workflow, this allows your FlutterFlow app to call your backend on BuildShip to say, can you confirm this email? And what we do is we provide in the post request, we can provide the things like the user ID and the email and be able to send an email to that user. And then if they're able to click that link in the email, which has a secret in it, then we can verify that, hey, this is a real user, and we're going to be able to give them something that potentially, like if we give free credits, then we need to make sure people are not signing up and getting a lot of free credits that we can't afford. So basically here we have a REST endpoint trigger that does create a BuildShip document. So a BuildShip document is like a abstracted away Firestore document. So in BuildShip, we try to simplify the database part and still have a powerful database. So what we did is every BuildShip project comes with a Google Cloud project, which has a Firestore inside of it. So you don't have to do anything to basically like set up a database. And so basically you just add it. And so basically you can set the collection name, the document ID, which is coming from the request, and then the body and the UID. So whenever we send the request from FlutterFlow, we can set the UID in the body and get it here. So delete that. So
Cool.
and here we're going to store the whole body in the document, and then we can set the merge to true false, because we're going to send out we're going to create this document to track the email that we sent out. And here we're setting up a SendGrid dynamic email, which is like we have a template preset here, and and basically there's the invite email. So basically
this is great. I love it. I mean, we can do it in FlutterFlow as well through API calls, but like being able to do this visually and just literally like, hey, set up SendGrid, do the from email, and then select the template. That's superb, because every product needs custom emails. Praise God, we have them in FlutterFlow now. There was so long where we didn't. We had basic templates, which was annoying. So
you can use SendGrid, you can use Resend, and you don't have to learn how to use a certain API. You just add it, and then you have it there, and it tells you what you need to put in, and you don't have to change anything. But whenever you need to change something, you can. So you have this editable code here, and it shows you this is using Node.js and importing SendGrid from a SendGrid library, and you only need to change it whenever you need a business thing that this node is perfect, but I need to do something else. So I don't need to do too much work. And if SendGrid becomes too expensive, then you can just delete it and use something else. It would be hard when you're building a backend in full code. Things become too entangled, and it becomes hard to change. The more you build, things become harder to change, and then your productivity slows down, right? So by having these blocks, you're no matter how big it is, you can just take a block out, put a block in.
Yeah, I love that.
So, and then here we're just sending back to the front. So once we send out the email, we can send back to the client saying it was sent, and then in the UI you can say, oh, this check your inbox for verification.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing that I do like about this, especially coming from a cloud function backend, or I guess let me reword that. Being used to writing cloud functions is, you're exactly right, especially when removing various elements, right? Like having to go in and edit the function and have to make sure that all the variables are set up and everything's properly structured, and then have to go through and test it again, and it's such a pain sometimes. So definitely see the value here in the visual workflow, with how easy it is to add new things too.
So I've been building cloud functions for 5 years, and every time I have to change something, I have to wait 3 minutes, and so 3 minutes is a good day. But with BuildShip, what we try to do is everything doesn't take that much time. So like this one is because it's a cold start, but once we start making changes, so
Yeah.
now it's finished, and then I want to do like, so I want to change the name. It wouldn't like take too much time. So
Nice.
that's it. Then I can try again. Then I can be like, oh, actually, I don't need this, and then
Yeah.
I should. And you're not wasting time sitting around like,
Yeah.
this is gonna finish.
I think that's an important point to make too. It's like saving time is great.
That time
So,
could be spent building
yeah,
your UI and FlutterFlow while
that's
you're
right. That's right. You could
But-
be implementing a flow in that point in those 3 minutes and have a
And
full app.
you go out of flow. You don't like, you
Yeah,
need
you
to
don't
be
have to do
in the
that.
flow of building. So
Yeah,
you
for sure.
don't like, so
Yeah. I love this. So, Shams, I've connected or I've built out basically an admin panel in FlutterFlow. So if it's cool, and I've uploaded this API. So the
Yeah.
way you can do this within FlutterFlow, and there's a few questions, so we'll sort of answer. Let's take a moment to answer if that's cool. Eli, thanks. BuildShip is a wonderful visual backend builder. That's why we're showcasing this. You can do most of these things in FlutterFlow with Cloud Functions and with extra code if you are a developer or if you understand code. I don't, and so BuildShip allows me to do this visually, which I love. So we're showcasing how you can implement BuildShip to build more robust backend functions, cloud functions, to do these things that are implemented in most applications. David, you're absolutely right. BuildShip is incredibly powerful. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'll showcase what I have in FlutterFlow, if that's cool. I've included the API, and all I did was I downloaded the YAML from, or I had Shams download the YAML from BuildShip. I uploaded it to FlutterFlow, and so this is going to be pretty fun. Let me go ahead and bring my screen over here. So I'm actually looking at, okay, and I'll share this guy. I'm in dark mode this morning because everybody else was in dark mode. So I said, why not join the crowd? Okay. So we have this. Sorry, I'm trying to. There. I'm going to showcase. All right. So I have basically just like a web application. I utilized our flow template. So the flow template gives you basically like a side navigation bar and 5 screens that everything is hooked up in. And so all I did was do that. I added our profile flow, which allows you to create, everything's hooked up for you to create an account in 5 seconds. Like literally just hook up your Firebase, turn on user authentication. I got off a call with Shams yesterday, and in about 20 minutes, we were able to share this because of the flows. Just having stuff pre-built is sort of amazing. But I have this My Team page, and then I have a create user, and I'll share this tab instead. So this is the app deployed. Give me a second. Let me bring it in. Yeah. This is the app deployed. Switch to light mode. So we can create users, and I can add emails. Andrew@test.com. And I could have had clear shams@test.com. So we're going to just invite people. And all I want to do is I want the API, right? That API that Shams just set up to send off to the users. I just want to say, hey, I've successfully sent 2 invites. None of this is hooked up to the backend right now. But we have the ability in this modal, in this user invite modal, all we need to do is hook up our API action here. And I have the API.
Wait, so the API I sent you was the one to do like the email confirmation when the user signs up?
Okay.
So I think I'll do let's build the member invite. So
cool.
this one,
Yeah, let's do that.
Confirmation, and then we'll do the member invite workflow.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'll share again.
Yep.
And basically the requirement is that we want to be able to send a post request and say, here are 2 or n number of emails, and I want to invite them all, right?
Yep.
So I'm here. So made a new workflow, send member, send team invite. And then, so we'll make a REST API. So here we have, the first thing we're gonna do is we add a new trigger. So we add a new trigger, and there's different, you can make an API call, you can make on a ROE event, and there's like scheduled events. So that's the different ways to start a workflow. So we'll do that, and then we'll call it invite member. That's going to be the path. And then we'll make it a post request. And here, to make our life easier, I'll edit the trigger. And here we can modify what the request is going to look like. So I'm going to add key, and we're going to call it emails.
Nice.
And it'll be an array. So I think that's all we need.
See, that right there was so helpful for me. That, because I don't understand API calls. I'm sort of ignorant in that. So just seeing you do that helps me understand.
So basically, yeah. So the request allows us to. That's how the spec is going to get generated automatically. Yeah. And when you give it to the front end, it'll be like, hey, this is what I expect, and it'll be like a clear communication. Everyone's happy by having those like sort of standards across different products.
Yeah.
Right. So let's think about it. What do we need to do? So because we're going to have multiple emails, we need a loop. So a loop goes through a list of items, and it will do all the actions on these items. Right.
Nice. Yeah, that's great.
So if we select the request and we click the body, you can see here there's an emails array. So items are an email, and basically we want to send out those emails using SendGrid.
Nice.
SendGrid, and then we want to. So there's 2. There's like static email, which we can type up, and there's dynamic emails. So I don't have. The previous one had a dynamic email template pre-made, but I think we can use that one too. So
yeah, let's just use it.
So because it just needs a link. So we have an API key. So because SendGrid is like its own service as well, we have to call it and make sure that it's using our account. So there's the secrets. And
that's awesome that you have secrets here. So you can store all your API keys here. You can share this, because correct me if I'm wrong, BuildShip is sort of collaborative as well in one way, right? So yeah, you can add all your API keys, and if you're a client or if you're a designer or a developer working with somebody else, you're easily able to have those sort of blocked. But everybody can utilize them, which is super cool.
Yeah. So like the reason I'm able to build all these so fast is because we built the same thing for BuildShip and BuildShip. So like all these workflows are already like running for us to like send the invites to members, and they're able to collaborate. And like here, this is like using, every time you add a secret, it uses Google Cloud Secret Manager, which is very secure to like make sure we're not like storing this in like a random database somewhere, and you're like, if someone hacks into that database, everyone's keys get lost. It's like everything here is using Google infrastructure that's built to scale and to be secure. Yeah. But you don't have to hassle with like figuring out how to call APIs and things like that.
Cool. That's awesome.
So we'll do like FlutterFlow demo at BuildShip. So that's the email, the domain we have verified already with this API key. So cool. That's what, and then we'll call it demo. And then here, because we're doing the emails, what do? We need to select item, and then in the loop, there's item. So here, because there's emails,
Yep.
the loop item is an individual email. And the template ID, we can use the existing one. So,
very cool. I'm super excited just watching you do this, Shams. Like I'm ballistic. This is so cool.
So yeah, so that's the template ID, and then like let's copy over. Let's try something fun. Let's generate. So sometimes you have to like make JSONs and different code things that if you're just getting started, it's uncomfortable and you don't know the syntax and you're like, okay, what am I supposed to put here? This thing has curlies and editor. What am I doing here? So you can use AI to try to help you autofill these values. And inside we have like information about the field and what to expect and things like that to help the AI prompt it better to generate the expected value. So here, what do we want to autofill it to is a JSON with a invite link property. So we have an invite link property that we need to pass into SendGrid to replace the button click email in the template.
Yep.
So this is the let's say to
Do you want that? Do I need to give you?
We'll change it later. But
Do I need to give you the URL for the app?
Yeah. What's the? Yeah, we can do that too.
Yeah, I'll Slack it to you. All right, let's see. I would share in the comments, but then everybody would go there and try to do this when it's busted.
Wait, but then we're gonna put it here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. Nobody created an account yet.
Hopefully it's worth it.
Yeah.
Let's see if this thing. There you go. So it did work. So it made a valid JSON object, and then it did fill in the invite and that. And so that's that. And I think that should be it. Here you have the option to set up tracking or not tracking, and that basically sends out SendGrid events to like you can build other BuildShip workflows that listen to SendGrid events and do something like, if you're sending out activation emails saying like trying to get your users back into your app, you can say which emails worked and which emails didn't.
That's amazing. Which if you're building a SaaS or if you're building anything like that, like you want to track that stuff, right? Like my wife does email marketing flows in Klaviyo for e-commerce stores. And like, it's amazing at how those things work so well. Holy cow. Like a flow of hers for like, an e-commerce store that has like an abandoned cart, like it'll do 10 grand a month, like on a random e-commerce store. Just like, no, I'm like, how in the world did you set this up and making so much money just like automatically? Like, so definitely you want to track your usage, what emails work, what emails don't work. SaaS is slightly different from e-commerce, but it's the same principle. You're trying to convert users and you want to present to them the best use case. So, and to just to continually communicate with them. So
you want to know what emails you're sending out actually working and not otherwise you're losing users and spamming them at the same time, right? You're like, they're not happy with what they're getting, so that's why they're not clicking on it.
Yep.
So you got to figure that part out, not just the back end and the front end, and then you build the whole thing and you're like, why is nobody?
Yeah. Managing a business is far different than being a builder. there's definitely multifaceted. It's a multifaceted industry or occupation. So
like now that we've made the back end and the front end easy. Now you got to focus on the business. Otherwise, you're not doing anything, right? So,
yeah, exactly.
right. So now we can ship this, and do we do anything else? That's it, right? Yeah. I
We
think
want them to be redirected essentially
Yeah.
to our app to log in.
So how do we want to figure out like which team which team to link them up to?
Yep. All right. So that's a FlutterFlow issue or our issue.
We can update a Firestore document somewhere.
Yep. We could essentially store, we could have a company collection with a company ID.
Yeah.
And we could pass that company ID to the invite. And then when they enter the app to log in, or, we could associate them with that company. That's how I've done it in the past.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. So, so are you going to pass in the company ID in the request?
Yes. Yeah, I'll do that in the request.
So let's update our request, and we have the request here, and in the body, we'll add a company ID. So, what do I need to do? So now that we're getting the company ID, we need to set it so in a Firestore document. So do you want to set it in the user document or in the user document?
Yep. So I created a collection for company, and I just have like a company name. And then in the user document, the field is company.
Okay. So as like before, when we're doing the confirmation email, we were using BuildShip database, which is an internal Firestore. But since you already have a Firestore that's connected to your app and everything, we're going to use the native Firestore. And the way we do that, so we'll use the delete document, get document field. So update Firestore field value. So all these things, instead of having to figure out how to do them somewhere, you get the right one. And if it really doesn't work for you and you can't find it, then you can still change it here. That's also here. So you can also do the same thing we did with the autofill to say like, I want this instead. I want to do this extra thing. I want to do this less thing, and it will try to help you out here.
Yeah.
So we need the, okay. So you already sent me the project ID. So because this BuildShip project is a Google Cloud project, it has a service account, and service accounts allow different projects it allows backends to have an identity. And
cool.
So this project has a service account identity email basically of this one. So we're gonna give this one this is the project you shared with me.
Yep. Correct.
Basically, that's the project that's gonna be hosting the Firestore. And what we want to do is we want to give it so we want to give this one, and we want to give it a Firestore. I think it's called Data Store.
Wow.
Yeah. So we want to give it. So we don't want to give too much access to anything for unnecessary reason. Like we could go here and say, I'll give you owner access and make life easier when you have something that you want to just hand over and not have to worry about it. But you can also, if you need, just give that specific thing that you need to do. So this is like
that's a good note. That's a good note to have. Like I didn't really understand that. I just don't understand these rules. all
Yeah.
the security stuff. So this is good.
So
And then, sorry,
this is
and
so
then, sorry,
this is the identity. This is the person that you want to give this one like permission to do.
yeah,
And you can add more. You can add less. All those things are possible. So press save. And now by doing that, this BuildShip project will have access to this workflow with this Firestore. And then we have to go back. Oops. Send email.
cool.
So we'll copy the ID. Then here we'll I want you to update the Firestore in this project.
Yep. The collection name is users. Maybe that's the one you want.
Users. This is tricky. So it needs a document path. So it will have the user. So it'll be like a template. So we need to change it to a JavaScript expression.
Okay.
And we'll have users /something. So we need to know the document ID. So
yeah, we probably want to send this email.
Yeah.
We probably want to create, or we'd have to create. We may be able to do this in FlutterFlow.
We can also create a user in.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
And then
create Firebase user. But is there an auth? We may need to create an auth for them.
So this one currently does an email and password. Could we give them that as a temporary password?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Yep. And this is really the multiple emails, that's one flow. But really, if I could just create, hey, this is their name, this is their email, give a temporary email as a random string, that'd be amazing. And then after essentially after they log in, they can change their email or their password.
Yeah. So I think that should do it. So basically now, because we have this, so this, we just generated a node because we didn't have it in the library, and it does generate a random 10 length or so that's all automatically there. So we have the does the invite include the username on the front end? Can we add that?
I'll update it right now while we're waiting for this. I'll update this whole thing.
So then okay, so we can update the request to be members, because it's going to be an array of email and names, and then that way we can provide the full item. So there's going to be item.name, and then we need to update something. This one needs to be loop item.email, because we just we made the item and a member rather than the direct email. So that's company ID and that's member. All right, nearly there. So that's going to be the item. That's the email, and then the password is going to be the random string. So everything you add on top in the workflow is accessible at the later stages. So that's the.
I love that. Yeah,
and
that's very helpful as well. thank you for going through that.
Yeah, so we're not building this for us. We want some
That's
people
right.
want me to learn, right? So here we're like, so here we want to update so we're back at the updating we had to do this to get to this point back. So this is updating a Firestore document. Earlier, we didn't have the document ID of what that user is. So we need to, let's see, let me try doing this. So we have users / and then the created user has a UID. So I need to put this in a string. I think. So we can also like use AI to generate this, right? You can say, give me the UID of the user / users, and it will be able to help you that if this is too complicated, right? So, and the value here is going to be in the request. You have the request, and you have the body, and you have the company ID. So now I think we're ready.
Nice.
All right, let's ship it.
And I've updated my template. I'll just run a test mode for now. But
so here is like, I'm gonna have to give you an updated. So I'll update the schema. So I'll give you the send email and then the confirmation. So we can select which ones we want to send out to our client, and then we click export, and hopefully.
Cool. And we'll take a quick time out. There's a bunch of questions coming in. And I want to just respond to some of them. We're going to go over. Sorry, guys, if you have a strict 10 o'clock CST, but yeah, we'll talk about playing audio and stuff. I know Will did an example of that in FlutterFlow. We are working on better sort of audio handling with our record sounds and stuff. Those things are on the board. I think Ivan was asking questions about that. Lots of people are. I have somebody bugging me or like asking me questions about it every day. I mean, I also want to do it. I want to work on creating a voice to text, sort of AI example, which would be sweet. And again, I'm sure BuildShip could do this as well. We can utilize BuildShip to do that. You can do it in FlutterFlow. But yeah, this is great. So thank you, Shams.
We have a ton of good questions in here, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And there are, I'll try to write some of them down too, specifically to BuildShip, because there's a lot just in regards to like, can you view this as code somewhere, or can best way to, like, some examples would be, what are some great BuildShip use cases, right? So users just immediately know, like, wow, this is exactly what I could build with it. There's a ton of really good questions too.
Yeah. I can answer those too.
Yeah. And Shams, this is awesome. Like, this helps me, like what you've done. Again, I have no understanding of backend stuff. Like, I am literally a child. I know that we do the live stream and we build awesome stuff on FlutterFlow, but I am literally ignorant on all of this. And just having you walk through this and showcase, like, oh, and this is how you sort of edit the body, and this is what an API call does. Like, those are very basic things, but they help me understand, like, oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. Okay, cool. Now that's how I get that email and that loop of things to actually create the things I want, which is sick. Like, oh my gosh, this is great.
I think it's all like supposed to be simple, just too complicated because people just get used to things the way they are. So there's no reason for them to be complicated and just like get scared by looking at things that look too unintuitive. So just by having things that can look simple and have clear instructions of what they can be used for. You don't have to like force yourself to read through something to get it right.
Yeah, totally.
There. So I think in terms of examples, we have a lot of templates that we're building out to figure out what you can use it for. So
dude, these like this Google Vision text detection, like, all of these examples are sort of fire. Like, yeah, please just,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
this
Oh,
needs to
they also
become a
come
whole
with video.
nother live stream, you know?
Yeah. So everything comes with videos. I hope a lot of them come with videos as well. So you can watch how to use them, how they're implemented, just on buildship.com/templates, and you can see like, oh, this is the how to do rate limiting. This is how you can use if you want to build the next Uber. You can do distance
Come on.
calculation, things like that.
Yep.
And yeah, so I think that answers the second question. Was there anything else? Oh
This
yeah,
is
the code. The code. So the code currently, you can see it here. But in the future, hopefully, we want to be able to like link it up to GitHub. So BuildShip is less than 2 months old now.
Yeah.
So everything we're trying to build fast. We have a great team that's like building things quickly, and as soon as something breaks, we fix it quickly. So yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys are doing awesome work. And that's another, like I wanted to do this. Harani like reached out. I've communicated with Harani for like a while. I know we had some collaborations in the beginning, like a couple of years ago, and it's just been fun to sort of see your guys' progression, what you guys are doing, and then how like the FlutterFlow user base can utilize your tool to help build more robust applications. Like in a no-code way, or in a more logical way for no-code or low-code. Building. Somebody said this isn't a no-code backend. It's because you get locked in with no-code, right? This is a low-code backend that has no-code capabilities, right? Like you just went through it, right? Like I don't understand JavaScript, but from your explanation, a simple explanation, oh, okay, I can get that. I can understand that. So I think you guys do awesome work, and it doesn't lock you in, right? You always can edit your code, which is amazing because like you typically will have a developer that is creating something with you. If you're building a real product, or I'm sorry, I don't want to. Yeah, if you're building a product to launch, like it is, collaboration is key. And so like working with other people and working with somebody with a more developer mind or a more business mind or a more design mind, like that is a very common workflow. So the fact that you can collaborate and BuildShip, that you can do this in a pretty logical way, that you guys have good examples, good tutorials on how to do these things, I think is awesome. So, and I'm excited to build some fun products.
We built all of this without writing any code, right?
Yeah.
The only code is like this one, and we generated it, and it's just a JSON. So
yeah, exactly.
But like sometimes you need to write code, and otherwise you end up with too much clicking. You have to click to get to that single configuration, and it becomes even harder to learn and then also you're learning something that's specific to that one product. But here if you learn this, you learn JavaScript, and if you learn JavaScript, then like you can build apps, you can build React apps,
and look at this. I mean, dude, you don't have to write any of this. You add this node, and this is the code you get. So like you don't have to know. I mean, like we're not editing, like you said, Shams, like we're not editing this code. We're literally inputting stuff into a visual input field. Like that's amazing. I couldn't write that at all. But sending a dynamic email, well, I can understand like, okay, add my API key, get a from address, name to address, like that is really awesome. Okay, somebody just said, can you export the code of projects and BuildShip like FlutterFlow? Easy answer.
Not yet, but it will be. So it's new. So we're trying to focus on the core helpful features, and understand that look, this is like a startup, and you want to make sure that you're safe and your business doesn't go down because someone else that you don't have any oversight of did something that you don't like. So you should be able to export everything and run it wherever you want. So and that's what we believe in. But being a small team and trying to make sure that the core product is actually valuable and useful, for people to export their code and run it. Then it will. So I think we're nearly there. We're like build a product that's useful for people to export their
I was
code.
thinking it's like just exporting to a YAML file, like
Oh, for the back?
yeah, like
Or-
doing
yeah.
that is like superb, like
So you can try that. So I already exported the spec here, and you can do.
Oh, you know what? I have access to that project somewhere.
And I sent you on the Slack the new spec, so we can try the team invites feature.
Yeah. 8 minutes ago. Is it the one from 8 minutes ago?
Yes.
Oh, sick. Okay. I will share my screen. Bring you over here.
Stop sharing.
Yeah. Okay. So we have let me share my screen. Okay. So in the API in FlutterFlow, we can just upload, and we'll upload this file. BuildShip spec here. Name FF didn't already exist. You want to override it? I'll override it because we don't. Yeah.
I added the int, so the old flow is still there. Oh no.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Oh wait, 1 second. Let me.
The old one, I think.
Yeah, I think I did too. I'll delete this because we don't need it.
Let me. Oh no, I did send you the new one, so you should have the new one.
Yeah, no, I did try to import that new one, but maybe it was just overriding it. I don't know, something funky.
Oh,
cool. Now we did it. We have what?
No, this still doesn't have it.
All right, export the new one.
It does. If you look at the Slack, the first one is the invite member. I'll export one that only has the invite members, and
okay,
cool. Try again.
Yep.
But maybe in the meantime, okay, it's already done. Let me export send.
I'll explain what I did here. So, awesome. This is the power of no code or FlutterFlow and BuildShip is we decided to add a name field to the invite. And so all I did was I duplicated my email field and I gave them both unique names. I was having a list of strings here. And instead of a list of strings, I created a data type. So now I have a data type user invites username and email. And then I changed I have a component state here that has a list of those data types here. And so this little guy is just whatever I create, and I'm creating a data type here and then adding it to this list. So update component state, I'm adding to a list, I'm creating the data type and basically adding it to that dynamic list below, which is cool. And then I added this clear text fields. So once we create one, we'll add it here, and then it will be username and password, and then these text fields will be cleared. And I have a test mode up and running. So I will, as you're doing stuff, Shams, I'll just share this, and we should be good. Okay. So I'm going to just log in, Andrew at test.com. I think that's my email. What is my email? Oh, okay. Oh. All right, and so we have this, and if we create an invite, I need to reload instant reload my app, but it should have those two text fields, and we should be able to create data types and add them to the list. And then my action is essentially just to send that list of data types and to do that backend flow that Shams has been building. So I think that is superb. I think it's great. I sort of love it. So let's see. We can create user. Oh, Here, let me go save my project. Save. Cool.
It's ready. Can you check the Slack for the new one?
Yes, I can. Okay, 1 minute ago.
Yeah, I tried to.
While this is loading, definitely pop any questions that you have in the chat. We'll answer those very briefly here at the end. So we want to make sure that we answer any questions.
I was trying to. That was not a test mode issue. I actually changed the modal. I changed the modal, so I need to change the action. I was navigating to the wrong action. So my team invite. I want to go to user invite. Unbelievable. I was like, oh, this is a bug, and it's not a bug. It's an Andrew.
But most of the time it's a bug, so it's
Yeah. All right, cool. So we'll see if that new action works, and then I'll import your new API group. I did download it, so
I removed the old one just to make sure, and also I added like the definitions of like the member object. Maybe that was the reason. So now the member object will have a name and email.
nice. Okay, Andrew at test.com.
Probably because we're going to send out an actual email.
Yeah, I'll send it to my actual email. We haven't hooked up the API, but I just want to showcase this little guy. I mean, this is really fun. That's really cool. I'm still learning the power of data types, but they're a lot of fun to work with. So, okay, we'll go over to APIs and we'll import. Oh no, I have to. Okay, it's probably this one. Today at 10:02. Yes. Okay, BuildShip run. Yeah, it looks like it. Looks correct. We don't have an API call in here though. We just have that group.
Can we add one? It should be like,
yeah.
It's not. Try to fix it now, but so basically the endpoint is invite-member.
Okay. Endpoint. Okay.
And what we expect is a company ID in the body.
And this will be JSON?
Yes. So it'll be a company ID and it'll be members as an array. Our company, the ID is camel case, yeah.
Okay.
So ID, yeah. Well, not just a small d. Yeah.
See, this is what I mean. Don't watch me write JSON, guys. Don't do it.
But that's why we do the thing with the download and upload. Then you don't make these kind of mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
Oh no. So the JSON. So it's going to be like are you trying to run a test or?
I don't know. Do I need to do this? Sometimes I see a little. Format the body. Oh, I could just format it. Will, come in here and help me.
Will, any ideas?
Will's really good at all of this stuff.
So I can share my screen again to show how it looks on the website. So basically we have this is what we expect what the request is going to come in. So it's going to take a body, and then in the body there's members as an array of email and name, and a string property of company ID. So how do we manually do that on FlutterFlow?
Yeah. Let's see, BuildShip. All right, I'm gonna try to import it again. Discard this new API call. Yeah. Try to delete this. Refresh. I'm gonna try to import yours again.
Oh, I think I know why. Because we forgot to add a return, and I think because we're not returning anything, the API doesn't have the response. So
Yeah.
what we have to do is add a node that's called this. Great. Okay, and we'll do.
Nice.
I think. I hope that fixes it. But yeah, so we don't have to wait.
Oh, nice.
So that was
Send team invites. Yeah. All right.
So now,
and then we have one question here. Dre, he's been really active in the chat, but he was wondering what the difference between executions and workflows are in BuildShip.
Yeah. So like the workflows are the things we have here. So here in this project right now, we have 5 workflows, and executions is like how much time has your workflows been running. So that's basically like.
Sorry, I may have removed your. I may have removed your screen sharing.
Oh no, I've hit it, but basically, yeah. So I think it should work now that it has a response object. So
cool. Also, I realized my desktop is linked to my cloud, and sometimes when there's email confirmation post.
Nice.
UID and email. Is this it?
Can you go back and show the expected parameters for the API call? We can just type those in really quick.
Okay.
Oh,
so, yeah. So I'll share.
Cool. Yeah, or I can share with you, Will.
So this
one.
You're the man, dude. Thank you so much, Will.
Let's see.
So
we got a body of members, email, name, and then company ID. Okay.
Company ID is
so it's members.
And then small e.
See, this is what I mean by you need collaboration. So you have Will, you have Shams. We could sit here for hours and try to do this ourselves, but I love collaboration. How to best create an AI generated node on BuildShip? Any tips and tricks?
Yes, there is a recipe to it. So what you want to do is you want to describe the core of what a node is. So what's a node? A node has inputs and some logic part that it needs to do, and an output. So say like so I need a node that given a email password, and it creates a Firebase auth user and returns the user object, or returns if it's successful or not. And basically that logic of saying I'm going to give you these inputs, these values, and you're going to do this and give me back that, is what the best format that I've
that's gold. So if you're watching this, rewind this and listen to what Sham said again, because that is AI prompting gold. Okay, you're giving them inputs. You expect it to do this. You want these outputs that's a terrible.
That's it.
Yeah, Shams did a really good job of explaining how to even talk with AI in general, but in BuildShip specifically, inputs, action, outputs.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah. And then I see a question: is BuildShip ready for production apps? Well, I'll show quickly we have all of these workflows, how we connect, we track usage, we connect to Stripe, manage invites, manage projects, so our DevOps, everything here is actually on BuildShip, is running on a BuildShip instance. So we want to make sure that it's always production ready by using ourselves. And if we can't use ourselves, then nobody should use it, because the person who's like building it doesn't know what's wrong with it. The person who's trying to use it is going to waste their time.
Yeah.
Like something that doesn't work because the builder didn't actually try it. So
Yep.
I think it's production ready because we're using it. So otherwise I wouldn't use it.
Yeah, totally.
Sounds, I think we've got the JSON body hooked up. We just need the bearer key or the auth key in order to call the API.
So we didn't
Does that work?
we didn't do authentication. We could
nice.
add it. I think we can just send without it for now,
follow
but it would
Nice.
be.
Let me remove that then.
Did it give you a cent?
Let's try. User. Is user just the name?
Yeah,
Or no, is it user or name?
Member. It's
Is it
member.
member, name, email?
Correct.
Okay, Nate. I put user. Let me change that. Name.
Yeah, and there's been a bunch of questions about Stripe and BuildShip and FlutterFlow and Stripe Connect and all of that stuff. We did want to get into that. I don't think we'll be able to get into it today. Maybe it'll set up, another live stream or something that you guys can do even on your end. I know Will has to jump here in a second.
Yeah. The API seemed to work. I just tested it and got a 201 success.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
But I can't confirm.
Did you send me an invite?
I can send you an invite. Oh, you are on that project.
No, I mean, if you send me like a team member invite, like
from the I have to set up the API. We'll do an API call here. Here, I'm going to share my screen. You guys are going to see me fumble, so please don't judge me in my. Don't judge me. FF demo. Set additional variables. So here we have name. We're going to get that from this component state, and we'll do item at index first. Here, data structure field. Oh, this isn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. This is going to be pretty easy, actually.
I just only have this passing one user for now.
Yeah,
although the API would accept a list. We're just for the sake of this.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll just do this. I'm going to do first data structure field, email, and then what I've done is I've created a data field in the user document with a company ID. Then I created a company ID. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass that from this authenticated user. I'm just going to pass that company reference document ID. Perfect. Okay. So, I guess this should work, right? I have 2 minutes left on we're going to see. 2 minutes left on my test mode. So I'm going to just quickly, I think I saved this. We'll try it. If we got this, I'll be really happy. I'll have one of those moments in, live stream history where it's just like, it worked the first time. Seriously though, this use case, I think every product that Kaleo Design has built has needed this in one way or the other. And there's, days of work that goes into it to sort of build this in the back end and, make sure that that everything works. So if you could do this in an hour, more or less, very impressive. So we're going to send an email. We're going to say shams at shamsroe.io. Sorry for doxing you, but we'll just send that
I
email.
already get a lot of spam.
We got it. I mean, we should have got it. We should have sent it. So if this worked, it did have a progress indicator, which makes me think that the API worked and that it's sent.
Does it give back sent?
Yeah, I don't know. I could.
Wait, let me see.
Let's see. We'll just change this. Oh, I'm gonna have to I need a new test mode. Sadly. We'll do a new test mode. I've changed and Will, I know you have to jump, so sorry, dude. I don't want to keep you too long. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for building that amazing AI app. It looks great. If you guys haven't downloaded it already, go to dreambrush.ai, download it on iOS. Android is coming. You can follow Dreambrush on Twitter.
Yes. We're highlighting daily AI art prompts.
Will is now running a separate company with his job in FlutterFlow. So yeah, support him, love him, follow him on Instagram. Yeah, dude, good job. Very impressive work. Like, you've done excellent. It's so fun to see that. Yeah, so fun to see everything that you've done with that. So
it's awesome. Very guys. It's very cool.
Yeah, excited. I'll be tuning in right after this to see all the questions that were asked about BuildShip. So
yeah, totally. Cool. So Shams, did you get an email?
Well, I did get an email earlier that we can go, but
3 hours ago. Okay.
I think there's something wrong with the thing you sent earlier, like the API request. We can.
Yep.
But basically, I was testing this earlier, and where is that? This one, right? So this would get like the request, and I think we can figure it out. Well, I think what we should do is we can figure it out, and then we'll make this a template. We'll make all these 3 into templates, and people can just plug them in. So basically, you click here, and you'll find the verify email template, and you can add it. And once you add it, you just press ship, and then once you ship, you will get the spec that will make sure that it works. And
I love this. I mean, I think we've gone over enough. I know that, maybe we're running into an issue here or there, but I think we've gone over enough where users could build something out of it. I mean, not a beginner, but somebody who understands FlutterFlow and certain things of code or certain things. I mean, I think you did an excellent job with everything, running through everything. We did sort of a complex one, right? Like, we did a list of users, an array, and a loop. Like, you can just do a basic one, like, hey, create user in Firebase and send them an email. We did some complex things, but showcasing BuildShip in its glory, walking through sort of like how to use the JSON body and everything, like that was so helpful. And I know we can watch videos that you guys have on YouTube, but this was really helpful for me. I'm really happy with where we ended up in this, and we can, we'll make this a template. So this FlutterFlow project, I'll make it a public link. You guys can clone it. It'll essentially have like the YAML file maybe from BuildShip, but you guys can add your own YAML file, right? You can go to BuildShip, use this template off BuildShip, and then create it yourself, which I think is sweet. So Shams, thank you so much for joining. I can try once more to send an email to you. It could have been that it just wasn't updated.
Okay. And then, otherwise, maybe, I think so. And you can try again. But basically, there's a lot of things that we didn't go over through that, like, you can do, like, there's, I think, the cool stuff, like, it can get really complex. Like, for example, we have like a meditation generator, so you can do like just bypassing in your API key, it will go and generate audios for a meditation based on like other things that are like, I think we have like a very complicated one.
I mean,
This
the text
like,
generation AI, like anything with voice, we have a lot of people asking, like, oh, how to do voice stuff, like voice to text. I know it's a big one.
so we did I think we have a template for like the new text, the new.
Yeah, and you guys have a bunch of Stripe stuff as well. So
We
you
can
know,
go over
again,
that in a next
yeah,
like.
we'll have to do this again. I mean, this was great. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I thought it was brilliant. We had great attendance. Like this is 3 or 4 times more people than we usually get at the live stream. So I hope it was helpful for everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for following along. I know it's not necessarily a tutorial, but it is a live stream, you know, where we were just trying to build stuff that helps you understand how to build stuff, because we're not, you know, you're not going to be able to watch this and be like, oh, now I can build anything I can't, you know, you guys did. But hopefully it gives you the ability to think about things in the proper way. And for me, watching Shams go through how to use BuildShip allowed my mind to understand the concept of, oh, okay, yeah, I can click into here. It's not just like I see everything here, but I can grab things from the node above. So it really helped me, Shams. This was great. I'm super thrilled to implement this. So it's going to be cool.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah.
And yeah, I would love to do one on Stripe, because like that is the next step, right? Like how do you get like we built something in FlutterFlow. Before I joined FlutterFlow full time, we built something with the Stripe integration in FlutterFlow, but it was like so difficult to return the, you know, ID, the payment ID essentially, and get it. We had 3 weeks, 4 weeks of work just figuring that out, how to get the payment ID back. And, you know, you guys have a template for that where you just, here, enter this, do this, boom,
Yeah.
you're good.
Everyone's doing the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
what's the point?
Yeah.
We're not trying to, like, we're not in the business of implementing Stripe, right? Like, we need to provide other value to our users. And then Stripe is just a method for us to generate that income that we need to support the products we're building. No, like there's like, you shouldn't be like, I'm going to spend this much time to build Stripe implementation.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, this is a lot of fun. Thank you so much. And thank you all for joining. I think this will be one of the most popular live streams for a good bit. So this is great. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Shams, thank you again. So we'll see y'all.